Hey guys, so I want to do this video here talking about nostalgia and 2000s, 2010s, and 90s, wherever it is, born in those decades, right? Maybe some of you were like adults in those decades and you going through a transition usually, and I'm kind of going through this, might be going through this same transition where like 17, 18 is where you start to become, I guess, kind of grumpy. I don't know what it is. Like, it is not really nostalgia that's happening right now. Right now we're seeing all these cultural changes, and a lot of these changes that's happening is quite negative, right? Like, how we are seeing it right now, what's happening right now is pretty negative. Like, it's also annoying, and I would even say that this decade is probably more cringe than the last one, and possibly more annoying than the last one. And this is just not coming from nostalgia. This is literally just the facts right here, what we're seeing right now, right? And I see online that there's a lot of people doing it. So I could give some examples of what I went through as a kid, right? So, and what most people went through as a kid, say Minecraft, right? And we all played Minecraft. It was trending back then. There was Bloodborne, God of War. We also had like Red Dead Redemption 2, Minecraft Story Mode, Marvel Spider-Man 1, like, you could even say Fortnite, or you could also say Pixel Gun 3D, Amazing Spider-Man 1, Just Dance 4, Dead Trigger, Gangster Vegas, and Lego Marvel Superheroes, and a lot more games, even Terraria, right? And that's not just the games, it was also when social media had a balance, right? It was great as well. I think probably it was probably like more managed and more balanced then to now, because it's gone more addicting, which I'm like, I feel like there's a lot of bad stuff on this on social media now, like a lot more bad content now than before. People were more inclined to be more authentic, right? And you had some fake YouTubers and some fakeness there, but it's never been so high like now, which isn't really good for a lot of people's mental health. And you might be kind of like, you might, as a 2000s born, you you might be feeling this now, that maybe staying away from YouTube and stuff like that for a while, because this is exactly what's happening right now with it. And we're seeing on how these their old experiences and their older games is coming back, continuations for no reason, just getting a cash in. And also because nostalgia is just, for some people, it affects them so heavily. Like, they can't, like, for example, Bloodborne, right? Like, this game does not need a sequel, and people just asking for a sequel and stuff like that. When things just end and there's no signs of it coming back, then just let it end, you know what I mean? Like, unless you're doing like a celebration or stuff like that, wherever it is, and then you could just do it for like a little bit, but that's it. But now that you're bringing all these things back in this time where things are changing, people don't even know if it's, and people saying new generation and stuff like that. Pe- People don't even know if it's really for them mostly, or is it really for the newer audience. And you don't want to be like, because we all live, we're all humans and stuff like that. And hating on a different generation is very bad, especially when they start growing up, and especially when we lived on we would like kind of the first ones to actually live off of the internet, right? And then now we're seeing all these things. People are saying that like we haven't went through much of bad things, right? It wasn't really so bad, but we don't even know what's gonna happen next. Like, did we just got like probably like a taste of what just happened, what actually is kind of bad now, and we don't even know if things will get worse, and then next up people say that, oh, that's not going to be that bad too. So what is really worse, right? Because it feels like suffering is worse than actually dying. You get what I'm saying? And these things can really play in your psyche, and it just feels like suffering as well. And like, if there was like a place where people can speak the facts and be more kinder to other people, and maybe acknowledge more that you have your own experiences, they have their own experiences. Yeah, right. And people can just speak just the facts and just be real. But we should think about it overall. Like, overall, we should add up all these bad events or good events, and we should come up to an conclusion and say if it's really bad or not, in a kid's lens on how they've experienced, let's say, the 2010s, 2000s, or the 90s for most kids. And this is just average. This is just how I see it, right? That I think it was pretty good times, and it's normal to reflect on it. It's literally normal, and it's not helping when people say that it was the worst. Like, you could say some aspects was bad, but people now saying early like 2010s was the best, and it's like, okay, but 2012 was my favorite year, but 2016 and then maybe 2017 was also good as well, especially 2016 or 2015. And when you like do these type of things, it can really make 2000s borns feel like their experiences does not matter. Like, it's not, it wasn't special to them when it was, right? Like, we had like fidget spinners and all of these things, and it wasn't really so worse off, really. You could say some years in the 2010s was bad, but overall it was a pretty good decade. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this nostalgia things and everything. And thank you all for listening. Comment down below what you think. Thanks.